It's been 20 years of
Someone pulled his tail right over.
Philia out of the shot.
Feel the best damn years of my life.
I'm Joe, I play drums.
I'm Dave, I play guitar and...
My name's Dave, I play guitar and sing.
Nate, you're not Dave. My name's Dave, I play guitar and sing and...
Are you serious?
I'm singing.
My name's Joe, I play drums.
My name is Mac, I play guitar and sing.
My name's Nick, I play bass.
We are Live the Story.
You're like really good.
Growing up, I didn't really have drums at first, and I've always wanted to play drums. So my dad bought me a pair of drumsticks, and basically I played on my toys and pots and pans literally until I was 9. Then like he was able to get me an actual kit, and basically I grew up with Dave. Like we've known each other since grade school, and like we went on like since then pretty much. Grew up skateboarding and listening to like Blink-182, Sum 41, and that's how we pretty much grew up.
Picked up a guitar for the first time in like, it was in like grade 8. I went to a friend's house and he had an electric guitar and I never really played it before. And every time I'd go to his house, like I'd go to his house every day after school and just play his guitar. And then I eventually got one of my own and started playing music, and it's always been like an outlet for me since then. Our parents they don't fully understand what it is we're trying to reach as a goal. They don't fully understand where we want to take this. They may not even take it completely as serious as we do. They definitely don't, but that being said, they definitely support what we do and they definitely understand what we're trying to accomplish with it, but they just don't, I guess, see it as a realistic goal in life.
Same boat. I'm in that boat.
Yeah.
But as I said, like constant support, like from all of our parents together, have always supported each of us like individually. Like
Today's music is much different from, I don't know, I guess when we were growing up. Everything just seems to be repeating itself over and over. There are quite a few bands coming out with I don't know, very catchy music, and I don't know, a lot of the true musicians, I guess, are following that strong scene, avoiding the more, not mainstream, but repetitive crap.
some music that's coming out now just sounds it's very mindless, and the sad thing is it's very impressionable. For you know, for teenagers and stuff like that. So for them to listen to that and take it literally is not a good thing. Yeah,
It's very scary.
and it's kind of unfortunate, but you know, there are people that listen to that music and they don't take it literally, and they know it's fun and they know it's cool. But there are people out there that, you know, it shaped, like that kind of music like shapes society.
Essentially programs them. Like if you're saying like, you know, to have promiscuous sex constantly and to like shots and like, you know, drugs, and like that's cool if you do that on your own time and stuff, but like you have to realize that like when you have a microphone, like there's like great power that comes with that. If you're telling people like, you know, drugs are awesome and it's awesome to go out there and to be like, you know, like there's kids that are 13 and they're having sex, I think that's kind of fucked up. And like, you know, like they don't realize, but like these young impressionable kids listen to this stuff and they think that like that's cool and that's what is expected of them, like ruins their upbringing. They're programmed to think a certain way that, call me traditional or like old-fashioned, I don't think it's right, and I'm sure we can all agree on that as well. I spent a lot of time working for a job agency and basically just like being placed in like, you know, like really shitty factories, working like dead-end jobs for minimum wage, and that's what I did a lot to get my money to go on record our EP in Florida and whatnot. And basically it's like my motivation with that is that every time I would go into work there, I would think like, you know, either I can take my band and you know like go where we want to be and be able to live comfortably off that and be able to tour like for, you know, as long as I possibly can and be able to live a life fulfilled of music, or I'm gonna be pretty much stuck here in these shitty factories working these shitty jobs.
I think with me anyway, growing up, I went through a lot of personal stuff. Not necessarily anything that nobody else has gone through, but a lot of personal things with, you know, drugs and alcohol and anxiety and depression and stuff like that. And I think music was an outlet that I found that really kept me out of trouble and really kept me motivated to become a real person. Whether it was listening to music or playing music or writing music, just it in general was like a huge, it was like my medication. It was like a way to get better and a way to feel better about everything that was going on. Creativity is originality, and creativity is extremely important to, you know, what influences anybody to do anything. So
Creativity leads to innovation, new things, new ideas.
yeah, keeps things fresh, and it's a very important characteristic to have. Everybody's creative in their own way. Everybody does things differently, and that's what makes everybody original. Why did we go on hiatus? We were at a point where the band was kind of slowing down, and we were arguing a lot, and we didn't know what our next step was, and none of us really had our priorities straight, to be honest. It was a rough time for all of us. We were all trying to figure out a lot of personal stuff. So the band really just kind of fell apart from there. It wasn't specifically, I wouldn't say it was specifically anybody's fault. It was kind of a team effort, but it led Joe to want to make the personal decision to leave the band. And then Live the Story just was kind of, didn't really exist anymore until we started getting back together. We started to hang out again, and we came to the conclusion that Live the Story is what we really, really want to do, and we got back on board, and we jammed, and we practiced, and we wrote a lot of music, and it felt better than it ever did before. I personally think it was something we needed to be done in order for our band to get to the next level. We needed to take some time off. We needed to think things over. We needed to think things over and, you know, find out what we really wanted from this, and I think we've done that.
You don't know what you got until it's gone.
Yeah. And when it's gone, you can't always get it back. Biggest show we've ever played is probably the Wonder Years show. That was our first show back after our little breakup, and I remember that show very well. It was so much fun. But my biggest regret is that at that time I wasn't a Wonder Years fan, and now I'm a diehard Wonder Years fan. So I kind of regret that, because we did play with them, and I'll be honest, I didn't even watch their set. I didn't know anything about them, and then I got into them afterwards, and that tends to happen to me all the time. So yeah, it was a really, really cool show though.
Fuck, man.
3 takes. That's great.
Yeah, Dave, really?
To say who I am and what I did.